cuff than have prepared answers anyway. So no.
Yeah, no worries. Well, thank you for joining me today. It's great to have you. So first, do you want to introduce yourself, your name, your workspace, and the award you received?
Yeah, so my name's Oliver Bradshaw. I'm from 8th Avenue Social. We're in Maylands, which is an inner eastern suburb of Perth, and I'm the 2025 Community Manager of the Year for FWA.
So what inspired you to apply for the Community Manager Award of the Year? Like, and why winning this award was meaningful to you?
So there's actually a couple of my members that kind of pushed me along to apply for the award. I've got a couple of people here who've been members since the first week I opened, and they're very encouraging of me and stuff. So when I said I bought the early bird ticket for the conference, and they said, "Oh, so what's going on? What happens at the conference?" And I said, "Oh, I've never been before, but they have these awards and stuff." And then Renee, one of my clients, said, "Well, why don't you apply for it?" She's like, "I'll write you the reference." Okay, so then yeah, sat down, had a bit of a think about the questions that obviously that were being asked and everything. Sent the answers through. I think I sent them through on the last day, which is classic me. And then yeah, and look, I had no expectation of even making the final couple of people. I'm like, I've done it, I've applied for it, and obviously there's lots of like awesome community managers across Australia, and I was lucky to meet a whole pile of them in Brisbane. And yeah, I had no expectation of winning it because we're just like a small little space in Perth, you know. And but yeah, and yeah, when my name got read out, yeah, I was totally shocked and totally grateful for winning the award.
Yeah. What do you think made the difference with your application? Like it was a surprise, but what do you think like you like really you outline really well to show like what a great community manager you are?
I think the difference with here is I'm the sole person here. It's just me. So I think I've got a lot more flexibility than like say a corporate structure in how I operate. And yeah, and literally pretty much no idea is too wild in this place. So we do things a little bit differently. Like I've been to one of my members' houses and helped them demo a kitchen and stuff. Like it's a real community vibe here. A lot of us do things socially as well outside of the space, which is great. And yeah, I think with some of the answers, you know, obviously we've got like a bike club, we've got a horse racing syndicate, we've got all these other things happening in the space, and it just brings a real unique sense of community. And that's then flowed on to obviously winning the award, and then that's flowed on to our space being full with a wait list. So it's winning the awards definitely raised the profile of our space nationally, which is great. Like I've got lots of people contacting me saying, you know, especially straight after the conference saying, well done, congrats, like we'd love to come and see you when we're in Perth next time. And that's been fantastic. And yeah, it just made so many new friends and contacts through FWA and winning the award.
Yeah, I also think the fact that you had a member as a reference and like was a big differentiator because for a lot of the applicants, they had someone from their workspace, like a colleague, like doing a reference. But for you, I think one of the things that made also a difference on top of your events is that it was one of your member who was like the reference, and yeah.
Yeah. I had another one as well that I didn't send through to you, but that was quite good as well.
Yeah, leave it for next year.
Yeah.
Um, so what's your plan now? Like, how are you like planning to build on your success? Are you planning to expand? Are you happy where you are? Like, what's your next step?
Yeah, so very happy where we are. We like to we're positioned obviously between the city and the airport, so we get a lot of that passing traffic through. A lot of people who don't want to go to Qantas Club or whatever come in and just use the space for a day, which is great. But also being outside of the city, like it's easier to park, it's easier to access because we're literally 100 metres from the train station. So we get a lot of people that don't necessarily want to go to the CBD or are maybe slightly intimidated by the larger workspaces because they're just a solo operator or whatever. Um, so yeah, I have been looking at opening a second location, but it's just trying to find the Perth market at the moment is pretty cooked, as you'd know. And it's just trying to find the right location with obviously the right terms and conditions and obviously the right size. Yeah, I did find one space, but yeah, the landlord was just being too difficult to deal with, and obviously you've got to build that relationship over time, and yeah, it just wasn't going to work out for us. So our immediate plan is to continue with our project next door. We're just waiting on some estate settlements to go through, and then we'll get on with building our bar next door, and that'll then give more facilities and more things for the members here as well, because they'll be able to go sit in that nice space. If they want to have meetings with clients, it's going to be like a different vibe to the more like heritage office kind of environment we've got in here. It'll be a lot more laid back, and there'll be a bit more aesthetic to it. So we're going to use that as like an expanded meeting room service, and it'll just be for the members only. So like general hires from outside will be in here, and members can move their meetings across into the other space if they want to as well.
All right, that's cool.
Mm.
And from a community perspective, like, are you going to change anything, introduce any new ideas for next year, or like you're happy with the current structure you have?
Got a few ideas on the board. Yeah, it's just a case of going through with everyone. We're having a catch up in 3 weeks just before Christmas, where everyone's going to get together and I'll have a bit of a chat to people then. But yeah, we do have a few new ideas for next year, and I'm sure I'll let people know about them in due course. But we have most of a lot of the ideas we've got are running with the project next door. One of our clients in here, one of our members in here, I should say, is they're a registered training organisation. So a whole pile of us are going through and doing RSAs, and some of us are doing approved manager as well. And that'll enable like next year when we have the place open next door, if guys in here like want to free up some time and have a bit of fun, they can come next door in 12 years and have a bit of a laugh. So it'll be good.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the important thing you said. Like you're gonna discuss that with your member, I assume, like those new ideas. So that's
Yeah. It's always like a running conversation. So we have daily catch-ups. So normally between, not so much today because it's a little bit quiet, but normally between 9 and 10:30, literally everyone who's here rolls through past my desk downstairs, and we've got the cafe. So the cafe is like split in two. So like one side is like the reception and like my desk and all that kind of admin-y stuff, and the other side is the display fridge where the toaster sandwiches and the coffee machine and stuff. So everyone just rolls past there in the mornings, and there's normally like, yesterday we had like 12 people down there having coffee at like 9:30. So they'd stop work, come down, and it's like a bit of a daily social download for everyone. Can anyone help anyone with a problem? Has anyone got one of these? Whatever. Like someone just stole my Square Reader power bank to power their laptop. It's just a real community hangout, and it's really good for people because talking to each other is the most important thing. So just that routine of being able to catch up gives everyone a good, nice, fresh start to the day.
Yeah. And for anyone starting as a community manager, like, do you have any tips you would give them?
First of all, do it. It's like one of the most rewarding jobs you could possibly do. And just listen to people. Sometimes people just want to be listened to, and I listen to people's problems. I try to help them, and if I can't help them, I'll try to find someone who can. So it's just super rewarding. And if you love talking to people and just helping people out, then it's the perfect job for you.
And what do you think is the most tiring thing then?
Sorry.
What would be the most like tiring or like the most draining thing you do on a day-to-day basis?
Most draining thing I do on a day-to-day basis, I don't know, probably keeping the place tidy and making sure people put stuff in the dishwasher.
I think that's everyone's problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, what do you see like as the next big trends in co-working, like, or in your area, either in like in the industry in general or in your area?
I definitely reckon the next the big thing I think I started getting the idea when I went to the Salon Lane in Brisbane. I think like the super niche co-working spaces is going to be like the next big thing. So after I moved on from looking at this other site, I was just thinking about doing a general expansion into. I've actually been looking at like at an old medical centre to convert that into like a medical co-working space. So we've got a few doctors in the space here, and I've been talking with them. And like, if we were to do this, what would you need to see in the space to make it work for you? But we're thinking more like on the allied health and like like all those kind of industries more so than like doctors and stuff. But I think the niche co-working spaces like that, whether it's like beauty, whether it's medical, whether it's I don't know like business services like accountants and financial advisors or whatever, even down to like what Good Space does with their storage units and stuff. Like I think those niche spaces will become more prevalent and more popular. And because sometimes people come in and what they do, like psychology, for example, doesn't work in like a general co-working space because it's really hard to get that sound, that the sound, general sound down. So I think spaces like that are going to be like one of the next big things, and more spaces moving out into the suburbs as well. Definitely, like that's the feedback I get. Oh, there's not one of these near me. I'm like, why isn't there? Kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, and what changes, like, do you wish to see in the co-working industry as it continue to evolve and mature?
Um, Changes in the industry. It's kind of tough. I have some interaction with other spaces, but not a huge amount. And I look to like what like yourself. Like obviously, you guys are probably one of the leaders in Perth. So I look to see what you guys are doing, what guys over east are doing, and then even like a couple of guys in New Zealand, because they seem to have a real good co-working ecosystem over there as well. It's what they're doing, but probably just stuff like maybe a bit more transparency with people's pricing and stuff. Like a lot of spaces seem to keep their pricing a secret, and then obviously you read the industry report, and I'm like, I haven't seen anyone, achieving those prices around from what I can see. So maybe a bit more like, we have our pricing on our website. It's no secret. And obviously everyone has different cost structures involved and staffing levels and everything. So maybe even like amongst ourselves have a bit more transparency with that because at the end of the day, if you're going too cheap, you're just ruining it for yourself and ruining it for everyone else as well.
Yeah. Well, Urbis at the moment is trying to like collect data from various operator to like have more transparency. So their idea
Yes.
is like collect data from different operators. So you can submit an expression of interest if you're
Yes,
ready.
I've got halfway through doing that. Yeah, yeah, and I did another one for co-working Europe as well. I think they had like a big survey going on as well. Yeah, so
So
it's good to
yeah,
see.
so it's good because it's an independent body who's looking at data. So they're looking at integrating with Office R&D. But in our case, like we're going to share our data in CSV,
Mm,
so they can like build that report around pricing and like yeah. And what's good is it's going to be accessible to people who share their data, but you won't be able to dig. So, for example, like in your area, like we won't be able to pinpoint exactly like what you're pricing for your space,
yeah,
or like some of the like occupancy data. But it's going to aggregate the data in the area. So, for example, in Perth, if like Liberty Hub Australia also share, which they are planning to do, it's going to like give us a good
yeah,
average price per desk or average occupancy and things like that. So yeah, that's one step toward that transparency.
yeah, yeah.
And maybe last question, like, have you shown your award and like, have you celebrated with your members?
Uh, yes, we had a bit of a celebration when I got back from Brisbane. The award moves around a little bit. It's mainly behind my desk on a table with some flowers and stuff, but it's been home a few times to show people. But yeah, it's always got pride of place somewhere in the shop, and the great thing about it is like when a lot of the members bring in guests for meetings, whatever, they say, "Here's Oliver," and he's the community manager of the year for the whole of Australia, and they're like, "Oh, that's," and it's great to be recognised that way, and yeah, I highly recommend if anyone's thinking about applying for it next year to do it. It's there's some tricky questions and just give honest answers and you'll be right.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for your time today. Thank you for answering all my questions. And
Yeah.
yeah, we'll catch up very soon.
Yeah. Thanks, Ophelie. It's my pleasure. And thanks for your time.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.